Hello, hello, and welcome, everybody. Okay, I hope you all had a awesome Christmas. So today's activation is going to be amazing, and I have no idea what it's going to be about, but I just know that it's a huge cleanup, right? Some of you may have been feeling this way for days. Um, Things that are coming up that you would not expect. And it's not just about family during the holidays. Things have been piling up and resurfacing for at least the last 3 weeks for many of you. And if not beyond the last 3 weeks. So I just want to take a moment here to tune into all of you and declare this energetic space so only that which is for the highest and best will come through for everyone. Yeah. And for those of you who are doing this activation and you want to be doing surrogate work for any part of the earth or for children or for your pet, you are welcome to do that. So I'm just going to uh, give you a chance to prepare yourself for surrogation work if that's what you're doing. In a really awesome way for many of us to use the whole surrogation thing is to be a surrogate for your inner child or to be a surrogate for your higher self. That way, it's easy for you to tune into both your inner child and your higher self because so much of what's coming up today to do is to clear all the roadblocks and all the stuff we have accumulated from the last decade, if not more. So that's quite a bit of stuff to declutter. So why don't we take a minute there to make the most out of this, to be the surrogate for your inner child and to be the surrogate for your higher self who will allow you to see your future self. And if you're not used to doing surrogation work, that's okay. You can just set the intention that you are now connected to your inner child, your higher self, and your future self. Because sometimes we need to know from our future self the experiences we have and how to the future self everything actually makes sense. Everything we're going through actually makes sense to our future self who has a broader perspective. But in this moment, in your everyday self, where you have to deal with things, sometimes there are painful things that just don't make sense, and that's okay too. So allow yourself to know that you are now connected to your inner child, your higher self, and your future self. And now we're going to just tune into you and all limiting definitions you bought into about who you are, and especially limiting beliefs we bought into during the pre-verbal stage of life, and whatever pre-verbal means to you. For some people, pre-verbal is, when you were three or four and younger. For some people, it's up to age 7. Whatever that may be for you, let's clear all the limiting beliefs you picked up on from everyone around you from that time. And then all the expectations that are really based on limiting paradigms. So all the expectations about who you can be, what you can have, how you have to be, that limits who you are. And we're going to release all that now. So now we're going to release all the blockages that keep your inner child from being who they are, because your inner child is always, always communicating with you. Your inner child always knows what is good for you. But somewhere along the way, we have learned to deny our heart, what our heart wants, right? And I think the most painful thing for anyone is to know that you betray yourself. So, and when we do betray ourselves, right, it's not always a conscious choice. Sometimes it's really an unconscious choice. The betrayal of our own knowing, the betrayal of your joy, the betrayal of what brings you fulfillment. So many of us have been told after a certain age that this is unrealistic for you, that's unrealistic, blah, blah, blah. And studies have shown that boys and girls have the same level of confidence up till the age of 8. And then after that, the confidence, especially with girls, starts dropping and dropping. So, and I think that boys are really challenged in this culture today too. So, so it's just different challenges. It's not that one is having more challenges than the other, because we buy into so many limitations by the age of 8. So all that we bought into subconsciously. So what you want to eclipse is bring the sunlight of truth, right? The light of truth into that space of the shadow and really illuminate the truth behind all the lies we bought into, the lies that limit who you are, who you can be, what you can do, how much money you can make, how you can make money outside of just the 9 to 5 job. So all that old paradigm stuff that requires us to be the light, be the light where you are, so that all the lies no longer have any power. And that's what we're here to eclipse, right? Eclipse the limitations, the lies, the expectations that are not even our own. Oh, yeah. And everything we thought of as not workable, it may actually be that you have visionary energy. And as a visionary, a lot of what you see, you're not going to be able to find reference points for in everyday life. And how we were taught to create was you are taught to look back in your past and find reference points in the past. Whenever we do that, we just create and recreate the past. So, all the ways we are using the past as a reference point to create your life, let's release that so that you're allowed to fully embody and activate your visionary power, right? Because the vision you have, you're not going to find reference points for, and you are going to have people who say, who do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. And when you have quite a few people say, who do you think you are? You know, you're in a good place of being a visionary. So I'm connecting to that visionary energy, and that's the wood element or liver and gallbladder. And those of you who are able to see a different possibility, you may be the ones having to call out things that are wrong, right? And a lot of times, there's people who try to be helpful or enlightened who say, if you spot it, then you got it. If you see it, then it's in you. That blames the observer for the issue. And you are not the issue if you see an issue. You're the observer. Just because you see the issue doesn't mean that you have it. I know that there's people who try to sound so enlightened by saying that. And the thing is, if you see something, you see an issue, you have the consciousness to create something different. And that's why it upsets you and it angers you because you know a different possibility. So if you allow yourself to own that instead of letting someone blame you for being the observer that you are, because it's only people who see a different possibility that get annoyed by things that are just not right. So everywhere where you are afraid to see things because someone is going to throw back at you that if you see it, if you spot it, then you got it, then you're the problem. Let's release all that, because that's just another way of blaming the observer and taking away the power that you have to make a difference, the power that you have to disrupt, to disrupt an old paradigm, right? So what would it take for you to own that so that you could disrupt an entire paradigm or disrupt an entire culture? So so own your anger and use it as a force that disrupts existing paradigms that are not working at all for anyone, right? And so good for you for having a consciousness to see beyond that and release all the blame, all the falsehood behind the saying that if you spot it, you got it. You know, I've been told that before too. Yeah. I remember back in the days when I got so political, when Dick Cheney and George Bush were presidents, and I was like, oh my God, access of evil taking over the world. And I was going around saying that. And then somebody said, if you see evil, it's because that's in you and you're evil. And I'm like, oh my God. But now I realize if you see something that you don't like, it's because you know a different possibility is entirely possible and perhaps even better. And it's good to own that and be with that and be angry so you can use your anger to create something new and disrupt the old, right? Because somebody has to be willing to see the evil stuff. Now I think about it and I can laugh about it. But I used to be so political, and I remember thinking, oh my God, the access of evil is taking over the world. And look what we have now, dear God. So honor what you see and the power you have to totally disrupt the old paradigms that are not working. No matter who you are, no matter your age, no matter what you do, you have what it takes to create something new in the world. So own that visionary energy, and you need to own the anger because it's vital energy, right? Anger is the fastest acting energy. And if you really own it and act on it for a good cause, it will energize you to do a lot of good things in the world. So everywhere where you betray yourself by suppressing, repressing your anger, let's release the need to repress, suppress your own anger. Because I remember being a very depressed person because I was made to feel wrong for calling out evil. I was made to feel wrong for being angry about a whole lot of things that are not right. And I realized when I own it and I can work with it, I can change things. I can tap into this energy and really make changes, not only in my own life, but in everyone else's life without hurting myself, right? Because when I hold back and become depressed, I hurt myself. So we're going to release all those lies we buy into that totally have us cut off at the knees, right? Because I feel like I get cut off at my knees sometimes, and I'm literally on my knees all depressed because I buy into so many lies and limitations about who I'm allowed to be, what I'm allowed to be. And I realize, looking back now, I realize I see so many more possibilities than what a lot of people are allowed. And I bet that you are just like that as well. That if you are depressed at all, if you, especially if you are fatigued, right? Because our natural state is we are energized. And when we are in touch with our anger, because anger moves the body, moves into our hands and our legs, moves into every part of us, and it literally asks for movement. Like every week, I make sure that I walk 5 to 8 miles to move the energy. And the more I walk, the more I am outside expressing myself with movement, the more I'm able to do. But when I was depressed, I wasn't able to do any of that because I cut myself off. So today, with the solar eclipse, we are here to bring that light of truth to release and eclipse all the old stuff that keeps you from accessing your power. Yeah, and anyone who shames you, who puts you down, keeps you from being in touch with what's real for you. And I realize We can't be vulnerable if we can't be angry and upset. You have to allow yourself to be angry and upset, to be real and raw and vulnerable. So let's release whatever is keeping us in a repressed state. So there's a lot that keeps a woman repressed, and men too. I'm not a, yeah, men and women. And sometimes when we have been depressed for a long time, it's that our bones literally lose bone density. And when you lose bone density, you're also not getting the minerals that are necessary not only for healthy bones, but healthy hormones, healthy neurotransmitters, and so much more. So, all the lies we bought into that keep us in a depressed state or a helpless state, let's release all that. And whatever is repressing you, sometimes it's repressing our creativity and repressing our appetite for life. And the thing with repressing our appetite for life is we just eat to stuff our feelings, and it looks like we're always hungry. But it's because we're not allowed to truly be hungry for the life we want. So that hunger is a hunger to experience life to the fullest, and sometimes that's somehow not allowed. So then we repress that with overeating instead. So anyone, if you've been overeating, and all the ways we use eating to repress and further depress ourselves, let's release all that. And all the substitutes we use in order to hide from what we truly want. So all the unmet needs, right? So all the habits we create to hide from a lot of unmet needs. Some of us do it through overwork. Some of us do it through pleasing other people. Some of us do it through illness. Some of us do it through overeating. So all the ways we are covering up a lot of unmet needs. The unmet need to be seen and heard and loved. And that is always goes back to the inner child that is abandoned. So let's stay in touch with our inner child for a moment and really see and bring up the energy of your inner child, whether she's 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6, 7, or 8. Bring up that energy right now. And we're just going to take a moment to acknowledge our inner child. I'm going to say, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I did not take the time to listen to you. I'm so sorry. I did not take the time or make the effort to acknowledge you, to really see you. And I'm sorry. I didn't even know how to acknowledge you. I didn't even know how to really see you. And I'm just so sorry I have abandoned you. I have abandoned your dreams. I have abandoned so much that would make my life so much better today. And I'm so sorry. And from now on, I'm going to make the effort to really listen to you, to really see you and acknowledge you and allow the truth that comes through you to help me create a better life, to help me see the beauty within me and the beauty in the world, and to help me see all the inspired ideas that I really have the ability to create in the world. Yeah. And from now on, I will really tune into your intuitive intelligence, your gifts. And from now on, I'm going to acknowledge all the magic and joy you bring to my life. Yeah. So take a moment, and now we're going to invite your future self and download all that your future self knows is possible for you, that you have already accomplished. You have already recreated relationships that support you. You have already created the inner world, your inner world where you know self acceptance, where you know self love, where you have healed abandonment, especially abandoning yourself. You have healed that. Your future self knows and acknowledges how you have done all that perfectly. And now just readjust, recalibrate the energy of your solar plexus and also the energy in your higher heart, your thymus chakra. And we're going to recalibrate this energy so that you embody fully this knowing of you already heal your inner child, the part of you that already healed the self abandonment, the part of you that absolutely knows self acceptance, self love, self respect, the part of you that knows how to be a self validating human being. And as you bring in more and more of this energy, just feel the expansion in your chest. And all the old hurts, the old pains and limitations are falling away, removing all of that from your memory, from your skeletal system, from your solar plexus, all the blocks that we're going to release. Yes, and you absolutely know how to be the healer you're here to be the visionary you're here to be. Yes, absolutely. And now we're going to download all the healing frequencies that your body requires and that you know how to do the self-healing. You know exactly what your body needs for you to fully embody health and vitality on all levels of your being. So we're going to reset the whole nervous system right now. And as we reset the whole nervous system to be in alignment with the divine blueprint of a healthy nervous system, we're going to do the same for the entire endocrine system so that the chemical communication and the electrical communication in the whole body is recalibrated to support you to be healthy, enjoy vitality on all levels of your being. Oh, oh, good. And we're going to reset that space of receiving. So, all the ways of receiving in the past that didn't feel good. So, any and all force receiving, we're going to release. And we're going to reset the energy of receiving so that you're able to receive that which honors you, that which expands your energy. You're going to be able to receive kindness, love, caring for you, and anything that is not loving, kind, caring, supportive of you, anything that does not expand your energy, we're going to release all that now. So receive that. And then I'm feeling this blue ray of light. So receive the blue ray, whatever that may mean for you. Oh. And that blue light that is supposedly what the sun gives out between noon and 2 p.m., that ray of blue light is the most healing to our bodies. So receive that. And that's the way of light, all the light therapy boxes trying to mimic, because that contains a lot of light nutrients for our body. So receive that light. And now I'm seeing orange. So some of you must really need that ray of light to activate or reactivate, especially uh, hormone system. So those of you who need this for your hormones. So receive this for healing connective tissue is what I'm hearing. So maybe some of you have had injuries. Receive that. So blue, white, and orange. Yeah. Oh. And for anyone who may need something for your immune system, right? Connect to your thymus gland, your higher heart, your I am presence, and really allow your I am presence to expand by acknowledging that you are an infinite being. So put your hands on your thymus gland and say, I am an infinite being. I embody infinite potential. I have an infinite capacity to heal myself now. And acknowledge that and command that for yourself, because when you do that for yourself, you activate your I am presence even more powerfully when you do it for yourself. I am an infinite being. I embody infinite potential. I am an expression of the divine, seeking expression through me. And I can now receive all healing frequencies from the universe, any part of the universe. Oh. And all the old systems that have you look outside for approval and put the authority outside of you rather than here, let's release all those old systems now. Oh. And this goes back so many lifetimes. And sometimes I like to say, all the power we give up since Adam and Eve, but it's all the power we give up since the last dinosaur. So here we go. So let's release all that, all the ways we externalize power and approval, right? Because wherever we need to seek approval from others is where we make someone else the authority over you, whether that's the medical community, the doctors, the college professors, the teachers, and dear God, the politicians. It's not funny, but it's funny. So let's release all that. Yeah, all the externalization of power since the last dinosaurs or whatever. I don't know that I sound more scientific by saying that. Doesn't matter how I sound. So there's quite a lot of quantum entanglements with power paradigms that limit who you are. All those quantum entanglements. Releasing that from your energy system now. Oh, whatever is unhealed in our DNA or lineage or even in past lives, let's release all the unresolved issues around authority and anything that keeps you from embodying your own authority. All the roadblocks to that, conscious, subconscious. Oh. Oh. And this is feeling strange. So, those of you who you think you're dealing with money issues, right? Or maybe you do have them. but you are the one who can totally create more for you. So anywhere where you think is the job title, or this and that, that creates the money for you. Anywhere where you externalize the power to create money, let's release that. I mean, it's good to have a financial advisor, but the power to generate an income is all within you. And no matter what systems are going on, what systems are breaking down, or whatever, you have what it takes to really own that ability to generate all kinds of wealth for you. So wherever you have externalized that, let's release all the quantum entanglements that create you to externalize that ability instead of internalizing it. My goodness, is this hitting a nerve with some of you or what? Oh, oh. Yeah, I get it. Many of you feel like you can create many things, you can be creative, but you don't see yourself as someone who can generate lots of wealth. So anywhere where you separate yourself from being the person, the being, the space, the energy, the consciousness that can generate wealth, wherever you separate yourself from that, all the points of separation and a handful of you are saying, I live on a limited income because I'm retired, and this is how much I'm getting with Social Security or pension. My retirement money is running out, blah, blah, blah. Or that the government is spending my Social Security, blah, blah, blah. Dear God, that may be true, but hey, you still have what it takes to make this happen. Oh, yeah. Oh. So there's a lot to release from so many lifetimes. So we're going to release all that now. Yeah. Have you been sleeping? That's perfect because a part of you knows you need to access a certain brainwave for healing to happen for you. And that's perfect. No worries. Oh, yeah. So we're still releasing anything that holds you back from being the light that you are, from being literally the sunlight of truth that you are, the power, the sunlight of truth and power and empowerment that you are. Oh, oh. Yeah. So now there's a lot of stuff from our collective past lives. So we all must have known each other. We must all have at least one dinosaur ancestor in common or something, because we're all yawning together as we release all this. We have an ancestor in common, at least one dinosaur. Yes, all the subconscious, all the past life, all the unresolved issues with authority figures that keeps you from accessing, embodying, and being your own authority and being the creator of your life and the creator of your wealth. So some of you get that you can be the creator of your life, but when I bring up the energy, the creator of your wealth, your money, your finance, your energy goes, oh, and we're going to change that so that you can really honor and embody that you are not only the creator of your life, the creator of your finances and your wealth. Oh, yeah, the unresolved collective trauma. Thank you for using that word. Yes, thank you for verbalizing that or putting that in words for me. Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of that collective trauma around power, control, money. Going back all lifetime. Going back to when we were just little dinosaurs or something. I don't know. It's many lifetimes. Oh, all the unresolved, hidden collective trauma around empowerment, personal power, wealth, creating your own wealth. And honestly, that is not such a past life as far as the last dinosaur, but actually it's this lifetime for me because my ancestors, well, not even my ancestors, but my family who are still alive, well, we all survived the Cultural Revolution. So that's my mom and dad's generation, the Cultural Revolution, where you do get in trouble for having more money than other people. But there's a different aspect of that for everyone too. Yeah, so all the collective trauma around being able to honor you as the creator of your money, the creator of your wealth. Somehow, some of you are actually pushing that thought away when I bring up that you are the creator of your money and your wealth. You want to just push that away for some reason, and I get it. This is something that goes back lifetimes where if you create a lot of wealth, then you're the target, right? You're the target. And I actually, for some of you, I actually see the energy of pirates. So it could be real, actual life pirates that you deal with that steal from your your boat, your ship. And it could be figurative for you, for some of you, that may be figurative for someone or the fear that someone is pirating from you. So whether it's a past life issue, this life, current life, whether that's metaphoric and figurative or real, let's release everything that brings up. Yes, so the fear of having your ship come in because you're being pirated. That's what I'm seeing. So that is tremendous energy around that for some of you, whether it's this life, past life, So, what or who is pirating from you? So, let's release that. And I'm sorry to tell you, for some of you, the pirating of your good, of your ship, is the negative self talk. So, if you're wondering when my ship is going to come in, and then every time you tune into when your ship comes in, there's this pirating thing happening. Tap into what that pirating is in your life. It could be negative self talk, it can be traumas from the past, it can be other subconscious, unresolved trauma, collective trauma, unresolved trauma, past lives, everything that our families went through, this life, past life, everything in your lineage, any and all pirating from all places and spaces, we're going to clear. And pirates, of course, we're talking about the ocean, right? So the ocean sometimes is a metaphor for abundance, and sometimes the ocean is a metaphor for the subconscious terrain of your life, the emotional terrain of your life. So the unhealed traumas that create you to not allow your ship to come in. Let's release all that. And all the subconscious, because if the ocean or the sea is the emotional terrain, then all the subconscious unresolved emotional issues that keep you from accessing your own wealth, being the creator and generator of your own wealth. Let's release all that. Self plundering. Thank you for those words. Okay. Thank you so much for writing that in, Marga. Self plundering. Here we go. Self plundering. So, all the subconscious, unresolved issues that create the self plundering that keeps you from having the wealth, the personal power, the self respect that you deserve. Yeah, so. Boy, oh boy. So, since we're all together, let's see what other unresolved collective traumas around money, health, personal power, finance can we release? And for some of you, I really do feel this in your tailbone, and some of you I feel it in your neck, back of your head. Yeah, there's a lot of unresolved hidden traumas around receiving the money you deserve, lots around self respect, right? Self respect and trusting that you know what to do, you know how to manage your life and your money. Trust that you do. So, what injuries to your self respect have you sustained this life and all lifetimes? So, let's release all the collective unresolved trauma around self respect. All the unresolved and collective traumas around personal power. So we have a few more minutes left, and I want to use this time to just really bring in the energy of this portal, the solar eclipse, and the energy of the next decade that would allow all of you to really be in that space of power. So everything that your higher self would like you to create in the world in the next decade, that energy from your higher self and future self, we're going to bring in now and align with that. And take deep, gentle breaths and breathe all that into your I am presence. And say to yourself, I am a creator of infinite magnitude. I am a creator of infinite magnitude. I am a creator of infinite magnitude, infinite beauty, infinite potential, infinite joy. And I see you as a creator of infinite magnitude, infinite beauty, infinite intelligence, infinite potential, infinite joy. And I honor that about you. And I'm grateful you can anchor that energy in your being now and anchor this energy on the planet now. I'm grateful to each and every one of you for being such powerful, beautiful anchors of this enormous energy of potential, enormous energy of creation itself. So thank you for being you, everyone. Thank you so much. And many, many blessings and many blessings for a beautiful new decade of joy, abundance, health, vitality, and so much more. And I'm going to stop the recording.